All right, but I think we're back. So, that's just part of life, buddy. That's just part of life. Stop getting so freaked out about it. All right, now how come I don't see if I'm watching our YouTube channel, how come I'm not seeing, let's try this again. I'm not seeing the chat. Hey, chat. There we go. There it is, buddy. There it is. Okay. Hello, Alex Gustafson. Oh, Alex, I got a question for you, buddy. While people are filtering back in after my little internet fiasco here, I got a very, very important question for Alex, dude. He might be the only one, dude, who can answer this question. All right, so here it is. Yesterday, I go to the gym. I was a little sickly. Even now, I have a little stuffy nose, but I was like, dude, I'm going to go in there and lift anyway. All right, so I'm doing this squat 5x5. The only thing that was a little weird was like I had the belt in its normal little notch, but it was feeling tight probably because either I was bloated or just because I'm fat. So anyways, I got it on. It feels a little tight, not extreme or anything. It should be kind of tight. And I feel this weird thing in my chest, dude. And I'm like, oh, dude, am I having a heart attack? This is terrible. Now, when I went in there, I was like, well, because I'm sick, maybe I won't be able to lift as much. But I was like, I'm just going to see what I had planned to lift, and it's fine. It's fine. The weight itself felt flowy and beautiful and easy. But I was feeling, and it was kind of surprising because that part of it felt really easy. But my chest, dude, on the first set, I was like, God, this feels weird. And I actually finished it out. But then I had like this weird pain, dude. And it's still kind of there. All right. Now, at first, I'm like freaking out, dude. I'm like, dude, am I having like some angina, some weird heart thing, And I'm Googling. Yeah, you don't want to Google. In any case, I had some pain, Alex. And then I'm kind of freaking out. And I guess in my head, it was either like a heart thing or a muscular skeletal thing. And the second one is the one I want to ask you about because it's just so weird. So the only explanation I have, dude, is that I somehow kind of like bruised something in there with the weight of the squat on my back combined with a tight belt. At the moment, I feel mostly fine. I feel a little bit of a twinge. It's right here. So like if it were a heart thing, it would be like, oh, that's a heart thing. I took some ibuprofen last night. It seemed to really mellow it out. So anyways, there's the question, Alex. Have you heard of this kind of thing before, or am I just out of my mind? So the thesis is somehow with a tight belt and a heavy squat, you could bruise your ribs, dude. How high do I wear the belt relative to the belly button? I would say right over belly button, Yeah, right over the belly button. It's pretty, we have all kinds of belts at our gym, but I would say I've always liked that one. It's kind of thick. I guess you'd call it a powerlifting belt, But normally in deadlift, yeah. So I don't, it's a weird phenomenon if it's true, because it would mean like, you got all this, you're sucking, you're really tight, but your junk doesn't have any space to go or something, right? And then somehow you bruise yourself, like internally. Oh, man. Or I was having a mini heart thing. One of the many reasons I don't think it was a heart thing was, you would think if I was having a heart thing, I would have a lack of strength, but my strength was beautiful. I finished everything out. It was a pretty heavy set too. So anyways, I don't know. 3 inches or 4-inch belt. It's probably a 4-inch belt. I'm going to go with 4-inch belt, yeah. Yeah. It was weird, man. It was weird. It was like one of those, it wasn't incredibly painful, but it was one of those pains that you're like, this is not a good pain. This is one of the kind of pain like inside the body. You don't want that, Yeah. All right, let's continue. Maybe Alex will have some more insight as we go on. We're talking about We Shall Win. We're going to start at the top, work our way down. I think I'm going to have enough time. We have a podcast scheduled with this psychologist dude, Joel Sneed. He's about my age, chess improver, wants to talk about happy subjects like getting old and being a chess player. All right, so here we go. Happy that my internet's back. That was like a bummer. I'm going to refresh this baby. All right. Refresh. All right, we're going to give We Shall Win a follow. As I was saying before I got cut off before, he's doing pretty good. Just joined. Gained some nice USCF recently. He's even done, well, he failed miserably on our checkmate test. Now, one thing here, I'm just going to say it because this is for my a little personal, for myself too. When we look at the lower cohorts, what we're finding is the people who have done all 4 metrics, it identifies their rating. I mean, it's very close. This is obviously way off. It looks like he did 3 checkmate tests, but honestly, if he were a 1900 player and got that score, it would mean that he was just incredibly frustrated with our UI and then was just like, F it, I'm done. Maybe I would say a similar thing over here. I think when people first do our test, it's so challenging and they're used to a different thing that they might be just like, ugh. Especially the higher rated players, you know. They're like, this is hard, man. I can't take it. Okay, so my friends, let's go take a look if we got clubs. No clubs. We got a couple games. All right. Now, this is not a game, but this looks like a game. And this was played fairly recently. 91 plus 0. Wow. This one would be more my speed at a 90-30. I've never heard of a 91 plus 0. Let's click this thing. So the clock usage is all funny, so we don't know what to say. And this, look, there's definitely some computer analysis here. All right, now, generally, I don't know if I would look at this because it's looking very computery, but we're gonna, because We Shall Win is new to the dojo, we're just gonna check it out. Okay, so, ancient line, okay. C takes. There are things to actually say here. That's kind of interesting, but we would, I mean, bishop e7 is a little bit more normal. And now this goes down. This is an interesting position. Black could do a bunch of different things here. So, for example, Queen e7 might be a very nice move. Yeah. And you criticize Queen b3, but you really need to tell us what you think you should have done, because you might already be in a little bit of grief. And honestly, let me just say my experience. In this kind of position, when black gets the unopposed dark square bishop like this, it's a real pain. So it's already maybe a position that I'm not thrilled with here for you. Also, knight f6. More natural here, of course, for him would have been queen e7. But anyways, that might be a nice response, and you might be already a little bit in trouble. And they find this nice move. Congratulations. Congratulations to them. Generally, this is, it looks like something we want to do, but it's just generally never a great thing. Here, bishop e6 looks amazing for black. Still looks amazing. I would have played it last move. Yeah, we're in trouble. Black is misplaying this a little bit. Yeah. What have we done? Oh my God, and then there's epic computer analysis here. Okay, so let's say this. We shall win. Just join the dojo. I would encourage you to look at some of the other annotations. Do the work first and then look at the computer. I'm going to just briefly look at this one. This one's far more plausible. Let's take a look at this one, actually. Do we have times? No. All right, but let's just look at this one. This was played last year at some point, so that's why I didn't pick it first. All right, normal stuff. Castles. And now knight e8 is a little funky. Knight e8, though, well, maybe it's not the worst move. Yeah. One thing that's fun about this position is if they play knight e8 here, h4 is known to be a very strong move with h5 coming next. A little bit anti-intuitive, but it's a nice move. So knight e8, and then I don't like this move. I'm not sure knight e8 is a terrible move. You talk about all kinds of things here. All right, let's look at how it maybe should have gone. Well, Kraai. Kraai, what do you think the guy should do here? Oh, it's not easy. It's not easy to know. This move is essentially the same as bishop e3, but what I don't understand, because you're going to just go back, but this doesn't make any sense to me. At a minimum, this looks reasonable for black. Looks great at a minimum, but also just knight f6 or something, you know. So there's this interesting thing where knight e8 gave you a real problem, and it's not super simple to know how we should play this position. I have a lot of sympathy for the ambitious a3, and it could go f5, rook b1, knight f6, and either b4 immediately or knight d2, and then b4. That looks kind of maybe what should be happening. We can't see the annotation. Sorry about that, bud. Sorry about that. We do need a buzzer, and this is DM Hoki's fault because he was supposed to set that up. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to bug him again. Noise for Twitch. I say it once every couple months, maybe twice a year, but then they don't listen to me. All right, so queen d7, totally bizarre. Let's play knight d2. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Top move of the engine. Well, you're going to have an advantage anyway. After queen d7, okay, queen d c5, snip. All right, so the reason this is clever is that if he plays queen d6, his knight loses its natural square, and he's going to get whacked with knight d2 to c4. Now, this would be the move that I would be like, are we sure we want to do this? Let's see what his intention is. Snip, snap, boom, boom, boom. And white is bound to win one of black's pawns. Yeah. Maybe. Now, let me just say, c5 is interesting. But also, if you just wanted to play positional here, like knight d2, non moment, we're doing great. We're doing great. Okay, so let's get into it. Nice move. Nice move. Should be 3. Nice move. Okay, now we're cooking. Now we're raging him. I would want to talk more about these moves, but it looks strong. You are wasting him. And this is a nice move. Now, listen, like I was saying with the last game, the issue you're having is you're not looking at the game yourself. You're using the engine to do it, right? And it's preventing you from thinking about the game strategically, right? Yeah. So, for example, we go down this computer move, and you now analyze f5, which is probably the computer's move. But the reason a human would be hesitant about this position would be rook fb8. Right? That's the move where a human will be like, I don't know, maybe I've blown it here. And the computer probably has something. I assume it's queen d5 followed by knight c4. But still, it's going to be the thing that you're going to want to look at in your own analysis that you won't find if you're using the computer. Okay, great. So, congratulations. We're going to see more of this guy. We're going to see more of We Shall Win. And just join the dojo, and we definitely want more of this player's quality. In fact, let's go briefly. We'll look at the round robins real quick. So if I go 1900, 2000, look at this, bud. This is their current round robin, and they got a wait list going on for the next one. Very much encourage you to join. This is great, man. And these people are some of the coolest people that will analyze their games with you and stuff, help other lower rated players like Laurent, H. White Cheddar. These are strong. This is a strong competition we got here. Okay, so let's get out of here. We'll say what Ramheiser says. Ramheiser is graduating all the time. Says back-to-back graduations, the dojo and Polgar are the big reasons, I think. I don't miss my opponent's threats very often. It helps. Thanks, y'all. Great. Quick story about the Polgar mates. Since even well before the dojo, Sensei Pruess thought himself too good for the Polgar mates. He's like, I'm an IM. I don't need that. And I was, and one of the nice things about the program, I think any program, is you could believe yourself either not better than or not needing than something in the program. And I think it's one of the reasons why it's so important to be able to trust a program. Now, because we have Alex in the chat, I'll give him a metaphor. So, in my little CrossFit world, they make me do all this Olympic lifting bullshit. Now, there's some parts of Olympic lifting that are great. Let's say a clean. Even a clean and jerk's okay. But a snatch, dude, that's like a ballerina move, You need to be a ballerina to be doing that kind of thing. And is it really going to help me? So I think in any program you do, whether it's chess, fitness, whatever, there's going to be some aspect of it. You're like, oh, I don't know. But you have to get over your ego, and you have to just be like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this nasty snatch movement, dude. Anyways, I was thinking about, I was like trying to come up with like the 5 reasons Pruess isn't a GM. And it's not like doing the mates would make him a GM, but it would definitely be on my top 5 reasons why the dude is not a GM. Because it's not just about the mates. It's like his mental inability to imagine that something that somebody else says could be good for him. He's like so stubborn, But you got to be able to follow a program, man. Okay. Let's look at Ramheiser here. Loads of tactics here with Ramheiser. Loads, dude. Loads. All right. So let's go down. Has he done the tactics, our tactics stuff? No, he hasn't done anything over here. We're going to see what tactics he's doing. Let's go look. So, tactics. He's done loads of mate and twos. Okay. That's good. All right. So I don't know if we're going to see any games and analysis from him. And he mentioned he was doing all those Polgars. All right. So this one, I'm guessing I've already looked at this one, by the way. Let's go see. Yep, I've already looked at that one. So Ramheiser, very basic dude. Actually, I'll give a little preview. We are coming up with this amazing. Inside the dojo, we're calling it an algorithm, but it's really a training plan. And one of the cool things it's going to do is highlight the fact that you're doing too much green, buddy. You're doing too much green, and you need to be, going over these games. But in any case, congratulations on making it, Ron Weiser. Kirk, Spock, Bones, tension on all this stuff. All right, I'm just thinking about it. Am I Kirk? I guess David is Spock. And I guess, dude, yeah. I guess I'm Kirk, dude. I don't know if I always feel like Kirk, but Kostya's Bones. He's definitely a bony little kid, I gotta Google Bones because I want to just see. I think I know what the guy looks like. Bones, Star Trek. Oh yeah, that guy. That's not Kostya though. So I definitely think that David is Spock. I don't know if that's funny, man. Okay, here we go. Lord Rook. This is first graduation. Lord Rook says, I have a ton of chess resources and fantastic books from the best authors in time, but I needed some kind of method to stay on track with both studying frequency and content. I've been trying to restrict myself to the content provided. I've only played one, about to be two this weekend, classical games, but the regimented studying and rapid games I've been playing have been helping me improve. I have only recently added Shanklin's Tactics book just because I felt I wanted to really work on deep calculation for more mental fatigue. I think that would be satisfied by the Chess Tactics from Scratch book, but I have to read several hundred pages until I get to the puzzle portion. Okay. Yeah. It's definitely a fair point that you got to go through that. But, it's not a bad thing to go through. And you could skip ahead to do some of the puzzles first anyway. I think the way it works, too, with the book is you're able to do a couple puzzles after you do a certain chapter, is my memory of that book. All right, here we go. This is Lord Rook. Nice name. Lord Rook has a nice-looking heat map there. Joined end of last year. I'm looking to break past the plateau at the age of 36. It will happen. Nice. Well, dude got up to 1802. And there his USCF is similar, which that's nice to see. And dude had a very poor experience with our checkmate and tactics tests. He did those and he was like, dude, I'm out. You guys' tests are too hard. It kind of ruins the whole thing, too, when somebody like this with a higher rating blows it on their checkmate test. Okay. So, one thing, Lord Rook, before we look at anything else, I very much encourage you to use your USCF at 1802. So that's 2000 ChessCom. You're just dealing with so many cheaters. If you do decide to keep it here as your preferred rating, then I think you should try to limit it to dojo games. You can play Dojo Round Robin, for example, right? Because, dude, oh man, the cheaters at that specific little rating range, in my experience, is just insane. Okay, so clubs. Like, you will go insane because you'll be like, is he a cheater? Am I playing a cheater? Okay, adult improver, great. 500 members, that's pretty amazing. And then we got, he's doing some non-dojo, as he mentioned. Okay, this is pretty good. He's doing Perfect Your Chess. I think Perfect Your Chess, for example, is a little bit above where he's at the moment. And then let's look at this. This is the endgame work. Okay, good. And then what's he doing over here? Okay, good, good. All right, let's see if we got a game from Lord Rook. He's got this one. Let's see if we got a time graph. We do. This is the first classical game with the dojo. All right. He's got kids. That's rough. I understand. And we'll see if we might come back and criticize this as being a little too fast. We'll see, though. If it's over at the end. So. Okay. Okay. Yeah, queen b6. In general, by the way, the c3 can't be terrible. But in general, d5, I'll just share. This is the principled move, but you need to be aware that you can do this. This is very tricky. And then you're going to follow it up with e4. So that's kind of like a standard, very promising opening gambit for white. I think this is probably playable, but here I don't like this move and would have preferred queen b3. And then it's, I don't know, it's an unclear position. All right, knight e4, knight f3. Oh my gosh. So now we're already worse, I think. Snip, snop. Snip, and this is a concession, of course. And here I think black should very much consider knight c6, but instead plays queen takes, and you call this equal. Do I think this is equal? Nah, black should be better. Let's say e6. Knight c6, okay. e3, e6, no. I don't know, maybe g6, you could probably do it this way too. I just thought it would be so nice to play e6 followed by d5, bishop b4. The knight on g5 owes us a tempo. He could probably do it this way though. Poor move. I feel like this just gave me time, absolutely. The knight on g5 is a tourist. He just needs to go back. So you say thank you. Okay. d6. Okay. And you said, I like this a lot. I calculated a few tricks and traps. And, yeah, I don't understand what you're going to do if he just castles. You just looked at bishop d7. Okay. He does play a6. That seems frisky to me. That seems frisky. Now, let me just say, in general, black should be better in all of these positions, even though he's kind of made some inaccuracies because of his better bishop, right? The bishop should be better. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to put it here is it's not clear yet that it's actually getting out at this point, right? That's not clear to anybody yet. Yeah. Okay, so a6, and you go back. You talked about bishop c6. I considered this, but realized after castles, you should never castle here. The king doesn't belong on the side of the board anymore. But here, true, you probably, yeah, well, it's a little bit annoying. It's true. Okay, so now you went back. Fun. Now you want knight a4. Now, both of you guys like to dislocate your coconuts here. Fine. I'm not sure that knight belongs on b4. You write, I had already considered this and was not worried. I had a few tactical lines that I had to work through if black decided to counter with d5. Okay. I want to say, I don't know what anybody's doing here, honestly. We got a3, king e2 looks strong. Yeah. So, here Here we go. A3. Knight d5. Yeah, you gotta... It's dangerous anyways for the guy. And here... Has the milk gone bad for black? Yeah, looks kind of weird. Boom. Boom. Okay. Now, let me just say that there is this continuing danger here that we need to actually do something, or else we will eventually just be worse. Right? Now, he castles. Maybe that's the best. It's a little sad to do. Now, also here, this looks more accurate because he should want the ability to play e6 at some point, like snip, snop, and then e6, d5 to shut you out. So this rook b8 looked poor. By the way, this is a typical failing. Is there a reason you're not putting your king where it's active? Okay, rook f8. So he wants to do something like d5. Probably fine. That looks weird. And now knight c3. And you're right. I really like this idea. I offer to trade the light square bishop. Okay. I don't know if I like it yet. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Okay. Your position's amazing, honestly. No one knows what this guy's doing. Okay. So, bishop b1, rook b1. Let's just try it out. And now he plays knight c8. Yeah, well, it looks bad. Yeah, it looks very bad. So what are we saying? He needs to play king e8, right? Yeah, he needs to play king e8. So this is a blunder. And now you're just clearly winning. Very nice. Boom. Very nice. Okay. Nice game, dude. Nice game. So that was Lord Rook. We're hoping to see more of him. He just joined the dojo. And, you know, of course, what we're looking for in the dojo is more people like Lord Rook joining. And I would say going forward this year, one of our main goals for the dojo is to get more higher rated players like Lord Rook in. And you know, we got, let's actually look real quick. Let's look at what the round robin at 1800, 1900 looks like. So 1800, 1900. Huge, dude. This is also very strong. Look at this bad boy here. It's a great tournament. Okay. So let's return. Next up, we have static. All right. And static, I'm going to guess, just joined. I'm going to give him a follow. 1487. Hasn't done anything. Clubs. The knows all crew, man. Okay. Knows, if his name is Michael Franco, by the way. He did a podcast that we listened to here yesterday on the Perpetual Pod. Friend of the dojo, Ben Johnson, does that podcast. So you can check that out if you're interested. And Static just joined, so no games. All right, welcome to the dojo, Static. So, Adarsh says, this was a nice experience from the dojo, especially the task which told me to annotate and publish my games in the dojo database. Nice. All right. UK Chestnut in the chat. Nice. The UK Chestnut joined us recently. He's looking for a training partner, I believe. Now, Adarsh, it looks like so far they're just, let me just go hours work maybe. Yeah, it looks like they're mostly playing here. From Chennai. Oh, cool. Yeah, so actually another thing, we were talking about goals for the dojo. we want to we want the Indian wave to join the dojo. And we even did this whole thing where we made it cheaper for people from India to join because the cost of living there is obviously a different situation. So hopefully we'll see more of people like Adarsh here. Did one tactics test, had the brutal experience. All right, clubs, activity. This is looking all right for a beginning, yeah. And let's see if we got some games. Oh, we got loads of games. However, they are 15-10. Now, Adarsh, it's very important to see that you're probably, used to playing fast games online. But we need longer games for you. Now, let's see. I wonder if I can look at your training plan and see what I don't have a great memory, but let's just see if I click this. So here's the minimum requirements. So you see there for you, Adarsh, a minimum requirement. You should actually play longer, but a minimum from 1200 to 1600 is 45 plus 30, right? So I am very happy to go over any of your games or stuff, but I want it to be in that realm of the 45-30. So I'm just going to go ahead and check if you have anything there. No. Okay. So let's get that longer games in, Adarsh. Like I said, it might, for people who are of the internet age, it might even be like, oh, why are you making me play so long? It is important, key, for any chess player to learn how to think. Yeah. All right. Here we got Andrew Rimmer graduating all the time. Andrew writes, have had pretty steady progress since joining the dojo. Can I just say something? I got this boom arm thing set up, and I think my internet streaming rating at least 50 points, dude. I can move it out of the way. Watch, you probably hear it. I'm way far away. Oh, I'm way up close, man. Okay. Two cohorts away is pretty far, viral stigma, but you will find a training partner, and UK Chestnut will too. I would say one cohort away is a little bit more like it, because 2 cohorts away, you're going to beat up on him, But definitely, he would appreciate it, like if you reviewed some of his games. That would be a great thing. You guys get in the chat, review the games. Fantastic. All right, here's Andrew Rimmer. Let's go check it out. 48 from the UK. Here we go. Yeah, this is cool. Pretty nice heat map. He's allowed to do a little openings. I wonder what it is. We'll go see what that is. And did well on the tactics stuff. So there you go. Clubs, European. Oh my God, he's part of a lot of clubs, dude. He's part of a lot of clubs. Also, this e-board club, look at that, 42 members. I really think, this is for you, Adarsh, or everybody, but like if you are out there and like OTB seems like too much, this kind of thing is what you need to be thinking about. Even if you don't get yourself an e-board, even if you say to yourself, oh, that's some cockamamie stuff, I don't need no e-board. The idea of the e-board is, just to be like when you are playing a classical game online, to have an actual board set up that you can concentrate on and not be distracted by the online world. I did a video, hopefully come out soon, where I talked all about, I did some deep dive on the stats. And let me just tell you, by cohort, the lower the cohort you are, the faster you go, the less able you are to think. And when you are online, you move faster. Even if, when I mean faster, I mean you don't use the full amount of time because you're distracted. There's anxiety. There's all this stuff going on. It's hard to think. Okay, here we go. This is Andrew. Let's see if we wanted to see the activity. I wanted to see his, what he was talking about. Completed build a response to the French. That was his custom task. Now, with this, Andrew, I don't know if you're listening, but I would say that's a cool task, but you could definitely have that as part of the dojo, because we have in the dojo an opening repertoire for white. So that would be part of that. That would be the part of your opening repertoire for white. Yeah. Okay, so here we go, games. This is Andrew over here. It's 45-45, totally acceptable, played recently. And this looks like maybe, I don't know, I can't tell if it's a dojo game yet. Oh, well, there it is, Andrew. There it is. So remember what I was saying about the online world and people playing too fast? Holy pacholis. Now, we see this especially in the under 1000s, but I swear, this is like a OTB thing, you know? It's hard to think. So, let's go back, game review. I'm going to probably spend more time on this game than Andrew is. All right, I like this. Fine. 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 And now you castle. This is the first move out of book and blindly following the line as if white had played knight d2. I have done zero calculation in the game. You haven't been thinking. Nope. And unknowingly offering white a free pawn. Very poor. Now, one of the things I want to say, of course, yes, it's poor. But an interesting thing about this position is, I don't know for sure, but I do feel like you arguably have compensation. No, we'll see. We'll see. Bishop b6, knight d2. Rook e8. I like that. I'm okay with this. Bishop f5 also makes sense to me. And now white played knight c5. So the general problem that white has is that when we go back to this position, it seems to me like that's reasonable, that this is very touch and go in the sense that you might just have compensation for the pawn. Look at this, knight c4, which would be a natural move. You've got rook a d8, and that's a welcome to the dojo. It's not over yet for him, but you got compensation. Yeah. Man, maybe you don't. Anyways, I just want to say it's very close to compensation. Knight e4, too fast. Queen g6, makes sense. And now all of his pieces are loose. And he plays this. He actually thought for 10 minutes. Very nice. And now he's hosed. Okay. That was a very nice tactic. That's what they get for playing too fast. Yeah. I mean, honestly, this is resignable here. Yeah. Okay, so remember when I yelled at you for the going too fast? I don't mind. I don't mind. We go back to the time graph over here. I don't care. I don't care. I take it back. You're up a piece. The guy should have resigned. Okay, so well done. Well done. Yeah. So let's go back, and that's Andrew's game. Definitely losing the pawn is unfavorable, but I just want you to see as well that even though it was technically a blunder, you do have some very interesting compensation here. Okay, good. Next up, we got Marky Moon. Marky says, the program has presented a clear structure for training that was otherwise non-existent for me. I also have found a new love and appreciation for chess books. For the first time in a long time, I can't stop reading. This is beautiful. So this is Marky Moon. We're going to give him a follow. He joined end of last year and has been working pretty well. Looks like a lot of tactics, and got up to 1,300. Has he done some of art? Oh, he had a fail on our checkmate test. But otherwise, these two metrics look pretty good. Yeah. So one of the things that's interesting is I want to do an analysis of how closely, by cohort, do the tactics metrics match the rating of a player. And for the under 1,000 cohorts, they're matching it just astonishingly, like the people who've done all four. Above it, it's been a little weird. Like a lot of players today, anyways. This is reflective of somebody who started doing the mate test and was discouraged and gave up. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so I do another one, Marky. You'll figure it out, buddy. It's hard, I know. No clubs. Tell us a club. Tell us something about yourself. Here's Marky, and he's playing a 60-30 against a dude named Miguel. This is in the Scaries Chess Club Turkey Tournament. Okay, no times are given. We'll go over here. I don't know why I feel obliged to look this up, but we're going to look up the Scaries Chess Club in Ireland. I had a feeling. I did a review of this chess novel that came out of Ireland called Intermezzo. Check that out on our site. Scaries Chess Club. That looks pretty cool. If you could start, Marky Mark, a dojo club for just the Scaries Club, oh, that would be cool. All right, check to the Miserable King. All right, so this is a sideline. This doesn't make, I just want to say it doesn't make any sense to me. I'll tell you why. That a main line here for black, is to play bishop c5, c3. That's one of the main things they do. So why would we do this? You know, what do we do? Bishop b6, knight takes, pawn takes, and now this move, which is pretty weird. Why is it weird? Because it's not a developing move, right? Okay. So you get frisky and go for it with queen h4. Now, by the way, one of the things I want to stress is at this level, your opponents aren't going to understand time. And what do I mean by that? That even though they know from, let's call it book knowledge, that they're supposed to develop their coconuts, they haven't yet figured out that it's important, right? And so you demolishing this kind of player is high on our agenda, our to-do list. And yeah, knight f6 was the right move. Queen h4 is kind of interesting. It gives me a little bit of a heart attack, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know if I get it. And I think you're already better. You're ahead in time. You'll probably play d5. You're going to castle rook e8. This knight's kind of a chump. All right, here we go. Queen f3. Is this white's most obvious move? I don't know. Like bishop d3 looked like a fine move. Starting with knight f6 is a worse version of the position. e5, knight d5, bishop c4, you say. No, I don't understand. You'll take. Is it hectic? I'm not going to deny that it's hectic. I'm not going to deny, first of all, that it's a little hectic. But, okay, he's got, I don't know, this is the only move we're afraid of. He's still hitting this coconut. C takes. Now, we're not afraid of this one, I don't think, because we take that coconut. Yeah. And then if, obviously that's not it. If g3, we could play probably queen e4. So the problem with bishop d4, strategically, is now his stupid knight now has a square. There it comes. And now he's just much better if he just trades and plays f3. He what does he do? He loses time. He loses time. Now, maybe this is still an advantage for white, but the simplistic queen g4, f3 is a nice position for I don't like that one. He's setting himself up to get whacked with a rook e8. Now g4, I don't know. I don't believe in g4. Bishop d3. Okay. And now you played a5. We got to talk about that, Mark. Now I just want to go back a second, too. One of the things that upsets me about h3 is like, I want to put this rook on him now, you know? So, like, I get it. Your queen's a little flustered. Okay, I have some sympathy for... Why don't we just go back here? What's wrong with that move? At least in analysis, that's the one I would want to look at. Now, there is questions here. I just want to stress there's questions. So you could imagine this might scare the bejeezles out of me. You know? That might scare the whole bejeezles to my diesels out of me. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. I don't know. He's just going to the side of the board. Like, as we've seen before, your opponent does not understand development. Does not, again, understand development. Now, we don't need to play bishop a6. He thinks it's a big old deal. I don't know if it is. Why aren't we playing rook e8, for example? I don't know. Why aren't we playing rook b8? Rook b8 is also a nice move. Threatening rook b4. Queen e2. He got it. They don't develop their coconuts. Oh, by the way, I've been saying this for months, but apparently it's finally going to eventually happen, like on Valentine's Day. Chessable's finally, oh, dude, after like 3 million years, is going to release my course about training this kind of position. So what's the idea? Between like the cohorts 1,000 to 1,600, people are just going to be hanging tempi all over the place. And you want to be able to like train yourself. You say to yourself, dude, this people are just going to give me time and I need to find the moves to take advantage of them because it's going to happen again and again and again. So rook b8 looks strong, rook e8, both creating a threat. He wants to go back to knight c3 anyway. See? So what did our bishop on d7 do? I don't know if it did anything. f4, and he says, undoubtedly the best move in the position. I don't know. I got a couple doubts. Yeah, all right, rook b4, let's see. Queen f2. And now you played c5. Yeah, I'm not sold on what white has done. Is it a little scary? Sure, it's a little scary. I'm just not sold. Rook fb8, b3, a4. If knight a4, knight e4. If e5, knight e4, d5. What's happening? I don't know. I want to just stress, I think you have interesting play. I don't think it's over. This, though, is weird. I don't know what it does. He snips. And now plays e5. He's trying to murder you. But notice what he does. He fixes your knight. And now does this. c4. And you call this a great move. Maybe. Now, the natural move question for me would be, could I do this? Now, I don't know. I don't know yet, but I just want to ask the question. So, yeah, this looks like kind of a... Is this a thing? Is this a thing? might be what's known as a thing. That looks like a nice move. Now, maybe a3 is cool. What'd you do? You snipped it. ab4, ab. Now, if knight c5 is winning your coconut, then we should really be considering knight takes b4 instead. I'm not sure I get it, but okay. And he says that's the obvious choice. Okay, maybe. Why aren't we going back to c8? Now I guess we're host. Good. Good. At least we're giving some questions. Mistakes all around. This is where it'd be really cool to have some timestamps. Bang. Okay. And his opponent flagged. So I imagine a little bit of a time scramble there at the end. Okay, so interesting game. What I will stress again is you will face multiple opponents who refuse to develop their pieces. And you did a little bit of non-development yourself, curing yourself of that disease, and then just saying to yourself, oh, he's going to give me some tempi, and I'm going to punish him for it. Very simple way to play chess. Very simple. Do I put the lime in the coconut? Of course I put the lime in the coconut. Smirnoff trolling weird lines with beginner troll. Yep. Okay. So, Lord Rook is here. All right, great. Let's continue to continue. And we now have Chris fix this bad boy. Oh, wait. I blew that. We're going to go click it like this. There we go. This is Chris. Looks like Chris has been here for evs, dude. Oh, what's going on? There's nothing going on this heat map. Let's see. Wait, dojo points? Nothing. So, I don't know, Chris. Maybe you're just not logging anything. Yeah. Nothing. He's got some games. These games aren't long enough, though, Chris. So, Chris has been with us for a very long time. He's been with us since 23. At least that's what this thing says. And we want Chris to be doing the appropriate time of game. And maybe he's just not logging his stuff, man. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, we can recommend you that book, Sicilian King. That's right. Okay, next up we got Ron. Ron says, I haven't played many online games since 2019. More studying and watching chess. When I found this program, I got the itch. I like that it's so structured and the tools they hand to you is excellent. I have been 1600 plus on Chess.com, so as I am more serious again, I think I will reach that soon. My goal for now is to reach 2,000 on Chess.com. Okay, that's a big goal. I always encourage, 100-point goals first, 100-point goals first. Let's click on Ron here. So give Ron a follow. And Ron's, just joined at the beginning of this month. Very dedicated so far. Very dedicated. Went up to 1206. That's great. Has done these tests. Notice, here we're seeing somebody. Tactics rating matches. Matches where they are at. And so that's good. Clubs. Ron, tell us something about yourself, bud. 50 plus. I'm in that one. I'm in that one. In fact, in less than an hour, we're going to have psychologist Joel Sneed on. He's going to tell us about being an old dude and what that means psychologically. The psychological research, maybe a little bit about that. Okay, so activity. Dude, he's been here just a half a second and he is all on it. Look at that. Well, he's on it. Let's say he's been a lot of tactics, so we'll look at that. That's looking good. Clubs, we already did that, Kraai. And then, 30-0. Now, I think that's no bueno. Ron. Now, am I being a jerk about this? All right, I'm going to do a quick look at one of your games, Ron, but I want to stress it is mucho importante for you to play the proper time control. At 30-0, you're not getting enough time to think, to like deepen those grade areas. Those grade areas. Now, we will say you at least spent your time here, so that's good. And we're just going to do a quick look. In general, I want to look at games that are fitting the dojo standard. Weird. I know this is a line, but this is something the guy shouldn't be doing. Good move. That's poor blocking the queen. Now here, knight b7 is fine, but knight c6 is a little nicer. If you get whacked, you can whack his bishop. If you get whacked by d5. So, it's fine. A little slow. Poor. Now, could play d5 directly. No need to play piece twice. I think what you mean is e5 directly, right? And we know why you're doing it. You're afraid of bishop h6 or something, right? But remember, this is something we've said on the show a lot, unless they're going to mate you, right? Which in this case, he's not really set up to do, then it's not a great move. This person doesn't understand development. Oh, knight b6, poor. Play e5. Yeah, play e5. Poor. C takes, wins the pawn. Boom. 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 Yeah, we should analyze. Yeah, that's fine. And now e4, baby. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the dojo. Okay. All right. So there we go. Again, we'll go back and review. Ron, great start. We're going to see you again soon. We want to see the appropriate games. And when we've done this before, but I'm just going to show again. So we go training program and we just click on this bad boy. You'll see at 1200, we want you doing 45 plus 30. And then below that, it's not just 30-0, it's 30 plus 30. You will become stronger by doing this. Okay, great. That's Ron. Next up, we have Matt Johnson. First time hitting the graduation button. In the past, I've not utilized the dojo seriously enough or put in the effort to do dojo tasks and log my hours. Like Kostya said in Dojo Talks, I have utilized this like a Planet Fitness membership. I think I said it. I think I was the one, Matt. I am somewhat proud of the work I have put in recently, still doing too many non-dojo tasks as well as logging those hours. I only have one game seriously annotated that is published. I've annotated before, but not to the satisfaction I felt happy enough to have published. But hopefully this will be the first of many after the guidance I read from How to Analyze Your Games book. Oh, that's great. That's great. Our book is in action. Yeah. So, one thing I want to say about Planet Fitness. I learned something recently about Planet Fitness that was really interesting. So the Planet Fitness model, of course, is to get all these people to get gym memberships and get them to them cheap with the understanding that basically no one's going to come, or very rarely. What I didn't know, and so I was making a joke that a lot of people, there are members out there in the dojo who kind of aren't doing it. And so in that way, it's like a Planet Fitness thing. But what I just heard recently about Planet Fitness that I hadn't appreciated, because I've never really spent time in one of those things, is they took away the things from the gym that serious people would use. And they left, they filled it all up with the cardio machines and the weird kind of fancy looking machines where you pull on some cord. So what did they took? They took away the deadlift position, the big squatting stuff, you know, anything that a serious lifter would do. I think they also took away the kettlebells. I don't know for sure about that, but the serious stuff that a serious person would actually, somebody who would go every day, if they had a regime they were following, they'd use every day, they took that away. So it would just be the chumps who are never going to improve at all. It's very cynical. It's obviously worked for them. Yeah. How to analyze your game book. Where is it? Well, let's see. There it is, Stream Elements. Just click that link. That's right. Okay, I think this is our final one for the day. We did Charles Wong yesterday. So let's go and see what's going on. Fibbits. High school social studies teacher in Virginia. Really enjoy chess. I'm trying to pass that love on to my students. We have formed a nascent club with around 20 students playing in a small rural school in Southwest Virginia. Unfortunately, we live in a chess desert, so most of the play is online. Okay, that's fun. Fibbits has graduated already more than once. And Southwest Virginia, man, that's like it's like a different country out there. Now, I'm going to just look at something. When I was a kid, dude, I played, I believe it was the K9, not K9 as in dog, but K through 9, national championship. And I believe it was in Pulaski, Virginia. I believe. I'm just Googling that right now. And Pulaski, Virginia, that's way down there, bud. You're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So, yeah. One of the things I would think would be very cool, Fibbits, and we could, if you were into this, we could probably set you up. We have a different team. You could look them up. They're called the Patterson Clippers. I am really making a push to get scholastic teams engaged with the program. And what we did with the Patterson Clippers, maybe something you could do with your students, is we had the understanding, right, with a team like such as yours, that if you got them onto the dojo, it would be probably hard for you to pay for an individual membership for each kid, because each kid might not actually use it. So we can make a deal with you to have all the kids capable of being on there. So contact me or the dojo. If you are interested in that, we could set you up. Like I said, it's one of my dreams for the dojo to get the European teams and the U.S. scholastic teams more on there. So what you would get is you would get your own scoreboard, right? In fact, let's go look at Patterson just for a second, and I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. So here's the Patterson Clippers. They got 23 people on their team. And one of the things I've noticed here, this is really good, man. This is really good, is not everyone is doing work here. But what I know from the coach, who's Barron here, is that they are doing stuff like together, and he is using the dojo to figure out which materials to use. And so even though there's people on this list that might say they've done zero, but they actually have done something, right? And this is cool too, because, they can see what they have done. They can see on their board who has gained points, right? They can see who's done the work. And they can see, let's say we got a bunch of people, 500-600 cohort. There's things that they can do sparring together. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic, and also you can organize rated OTB events at your school, like an intramural event, and you can get that going on there. I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, not a complete chess desert, but not so easy. Anyways, that was a long spiel. Let's go back. Okay, so go back, and this is Fibbits. We got clubs. Get that club from get that club set up, man, from your school. All right, activity. I think Barron is also a social studies teacher. I could put you in contact with that guy. He could give you some insight. All right. So what non-dojo is he doing? Some chess media, a little bit of openings. Okay. At 1200, you are now allowed to do some openings. Let's see if we got some games. We got a game. This was played, it looks like January 1st. Or rather, the 25th. Yeah, just a couple days ago. Do we got some times? We do. All right, so here we're going to say the obvious. Your opponent is playing a blitz game, and I'm hoping you wasted him. You played too fast yourself, right? All right, here we go. All right, boom. Boom, I don't like it. It might be playable, but I don't like it because it doesn't develop your coconuts. I know that bishop b5 is a nice move here. Yeah, there's a lot of different nice moves here for you to play. Interesting. All right. So, this is kind of fun. What you're doing is you're losing all of your development to hold on to the pawn. And it's at least interesting. It's probably suicidal, but it is interesting. All right. Knight d4. I thought this was a good move. My knight is well placed on d4, and if my opponent decides to take, I can undouble my pawns. Now, just to stress here, you aren't developing, okay? So maybe knight a3, that's a thought, you know? Get your people out there. You could maybe do the same thing. This guy's already doing something, right? Snip. I don't know about that either. Good move. Now you're in control. Thank you very much. Okay, and now this is terrible. Okay, what we want to stress for you is that you haven't felt the need to develop your coconuts yet, right? Every player has to go through this. Your people need to get out. Now, the beautiful thing is you have gained so much space on the queen side that your pieces in some ways are already out. Like this guy's already doing something. And now we just need to find roles for these guys. So, first of all, if you just did nothing, you'd play knight c3. Just bring your people out. Now, you could also think about it for a second and come up with a plan. You might decide that the knight wants to go here, for example. But the pieces must do something. They must. If you wanted to get real highfalutin, you could play rook a2 or rook a3, intending to bring the rook around, right? Possible. Develop your pieces. Knight f7. Good. Oh, that's very creative on your opponent's part. I like that. Okay, I don't know what about bishop d2. Okay. I don't understand bishop d8. A little weird. Okay. He wants to trade when you're up a pawn. I think you should say thank you very much. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we definitely have a winning position. Rook f3. I'm not sure what this does. That's a lot of squares. If this were me, I would try to organize a g4 break. Maybe h3, something like that. King f2, king f3 first. There's no rush. Yeah, a little frisky, but okay. Good move. Good move. Oh, you're just tearing him up. We're threatening e6. By the way, I don't understand some of these moves, but in general, you're in control of this game pretty good. Do I like that? Not sure yet. You are still winning, but I don't know why we gave him that knight. Good. Okay. I don't get it. Thank you. Good move. Rook b2 now. Rook b2. Black resigns. I wish Black had played this game out. Rook b2. Okay. That was great, man. That was great.